The warrior king. Welcome to Ghana. Increments Ghana. What a lovely place. Which part of Africa are you watching us from? Ghana is visa free to all the African nationals. Which part are you from? Don't worry at all. In this video you are going to see Ghana, the land of the riches. Wow, Ghana gained independence from the British colony on March 6, 1957. Look at the village boy, that's me, and this look at the building, the Independence Square, Wow. The Ark. What a lovely moment. You are welcome to Ghana. Yes, I love to eat. I'm a vegan, so I love to eat, Yes, there is the Ghana that everybody wants to come. Ghana is not free for the Africans. Visa free, you don't have to pay, $1 or a cedi before coming to Ghana. So what are you waiting for? Get your Gideon boots and start, Ghana becoming the first sub-Saharan African nation to do so, getting independence, under the leadership of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the former British colony, known as the Gold Coast, unified various territories and adopted the name Ghana, which is derived from the Sanskrit language, meaning the warrior king, The warrior king, when they come to Kwame Nkrumah leadership, Ghana, wow. Nkrumah rest in peace. Nkrumah was a central figure in the push of independence. He led the Convention People's Party, CPP, which, champions self-rule, self-government now. The independence of Ghana is meaningless unless linked with liberation of the whole African continent. Finally, Ghana is liberating the rest of the Africa continent. When Nkrumah said, we have to unite, he doesn't joke at all. He does not joke. At the time, he was talking about it, and he was not joking at all, and he would never joke. One love to the president of Ghana. Yes, that is John Dramani Mahama, and his foreign minister, or Ghanaian's foreign minister, Akujeto Ablakwa, somebody honorable. One love to you. Likewise, the former president. Yes, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Yes, I think he also did very well at his time, just to liberate the Africans or making the visa free for the African nationals. Yes, are you from Jamaica, Caribbean land, Guyana? Are you from Mexico? Coming down towards the name Trinidad Tobago? Let's come back to Africa and the gateway to Africa, Ghana. The door is now open to everyone to come as a black man. So, are you from Rwanda, Uganda, Burkina, Guinea, Gambia, Zambia, Gulf of Guinea, Equatorial Guinea, Lesotho, Morocco, Egypt, Tunisia, or you're from Senegal? What are you waiting for? Or Kinved, or Congo, DR Congo? Let's come to Ghana. Yes, Ghana, a beautiful land, a beautiful place, a beautiful people. Me love everything when it comes to Ghana. When you talk about their land, the land is so fertile to the point that when you put a letter sand on the roofing sheet and you plant something, you plant your common corn on it, the corn have grow for you, So you can look at the people, buying, selling. So when it comes to business in Ghana, it's a peaceful one, it's a lovely one, demand and supply. Your economies that you have studied in school, come to Ghana and make the practical one of it. So Ghana belong to some kind of ethnic groups, a lot of ethnic groups, lovely ethnic groups. They have the Ewe, the Akan, the Kunkumba, the Dangubas, the Fafra, a lot of people, the Fanti, the Ashanti. Me can't mention all, me can't mention all. So these are the things, these are the people, these are the lovely environment we keep on talking about. Africa have to move freely. Me from Togo moving to Ghana. Why do you tell me to have a visa before going as a black man? Me from Ghana going to La Côte d'Ivoire. What are you telling me? Having a visa before entering my neighboring country? How can I study the food over there? How can I study the language? How can I study the environment? So that is why we keep on fighting against that. We want borderless Africa. We want visa free so that Africa will be united. Nkrumah said it. Jomo Kenyatta said it. Nelson Mandela fought for it. What are we waiting for? You see, people have died because of what? United Africa. You see, so what are we waiting for? So thank God so much to our leaders who are now waking up, open the door. Go to Burkina Faso, the man is doing it. Ibrahim Traore is now doing it, making it visa free. Go to Rwanda, Kigali, You see, so I think it's time for us to make Africa a better place. We have only one Africa, and that is Africa, that we want to use our natural resources to develop our own and stop the borrowing and stop letting people drinking muddy water, dirty water in the villages. Go to some of the villages in Africa. It's too bad.
Coming to Africa without visas and all that, it means trade is going to improve so much, and I think that is a very good thing that the government has done, and I welcome it.
At the end of the day, it's a Ghana thing, you understand? So, I mean, the country at large will benefit.
For me, I think it's fine, because if you're in Africa and want to travel to Ghana, I don't think you should be going a lot of processes. I think when traveling to Ghana and it's visa free, it will help a lot of people to come to Ghana to see what we have here. So if it's visa free, when the person arrives, we will go to the embassy and maybe they will give him maybe 3 months or 4 months, and I think it will help.
Our rich heritage and our unwavering spirit. This year, our celebration is particularly significant. The African Union has declared 2025 as the year for justice for Africans and people of African descent through reparations. As the AU champion for this critical cause, I'm deeply committed to working with you all to achieve this vital objective. For too long, the legacy of slavery, colonialism, and neo-colonialism has cast a long shadow on the lives and progress of Africans and people of African descent. These historical injustices have left deep scars. Reparations are not merely about financial compensation, they are about acknowledging the profound and enduring damage inflicted upon our people. They are about confronting the uncomfortable truths of our past and taking concrete steps to rectify these wrongs. We seek justice that encompasses a comprehensive range of measures, including official and unequivocal apologies from the nations and institutions responsible for perpetrating these historical injustices, addressing the crippling debt burden that continues to stifle economic growth in many African nations, a direct consequence of exploitation and unfair trade practices, providing resources and expertise to empower African nations to achieve sustainable development and participate fully in the global economy, returning stolen artifacts and cultural treasures that rightfully belong to our heritage, investing in the educational initiatives to promote a deeper understanding of African history, culture, and contributions to the world. This is not a simple task. It requires courage, determination, and a unified front. It requires us to engage in meaningful dialogue with those responsible and to advocate tirelessly for our rights. I call upon my colleague African leaders, civil society organizations and youth groups, and members of the diaspora to join hands in this important endeavor. Let us work together to build a future where justice prevails, where the wounds of the past are healed, and where the potential of every African and person of African descent is fully realized. Let Africa Day 2025 be a turning point. Let us reaffirm our commitment to building a continent of prosperity, opportunity, and equality for all our people. Let the pursuit of reparations be a testament to our resilience.
And the world should not pretend that the present-day economic and social conditions of Africa have nothing to do with the historical injustices that have fashioned the structures of the world. It is time to acknowledge openly that much of Europe and the United States have been built from the vast wealth harvested from the sweat, tears, blood, and horrors of the transatlantic slave trade and the centuries of colonial exploitation. Maybe we should also admit that it cannot be easy to build confident and prosperous societies from nations that for centuries have their natural resources looted and their peoples traded as commodities. For centuries, the world has been unwilling and unable to confront the realities of the consequences of the slave trade. But gradually, this is changing, and it is time to bring the subject of reparations firmly to the fore. Granted, the current generations are not the ones that engaged in the slave trade, but that grand inhuman enterprise was state-sponsored and deliberate, and its benefits are clearly interwoven with the present-day economic architecture of the nations that designed and executed it. Reparations must be paid for the slave trade. No amount of money will ever make up for the horrors, but it would make the point that evil was perpetrated, that millions of productive Africans were snatched from the embrace of our continent and put to work in the Americas and the Caribbean without compensation for their labor. If there are any hesitations in some minds about the paying of reparations, it is worth considering the fact that when slavery was abolished, the slave owners were compensated for the loss of the slaves because the human beings were labeled as property, deemed to be commodities. Surely, this is a matter that the world must confront and can no longer ignore. The African Union has authorized Ghana to hold a global conference on the issue in November in Accra. It is probably also the time to return to that vexed subject of illicit financial outflows out of the continent of Africa. I refer to the report of the panel chaired by the highly respected former South African President Thabo Mbeki on the illicit flow of funds from Africa, which states that Africa is losing annually more than 88 billion United States dollars through illicit financial outflows. Yes, those monies too must be returned to the continent. It is difficult to understand why the recipient countries are comfortable about retaining such funds and are happy to call those countries from whom the monies are taken as corrupt. I believe that a joint task force of the African Union Commission and the OECD Secretariat under the auspices of the United Nations should be charged to find ways of stopping the damaging outflows. Mr. President, before the pandemic, we, like many other parts of the world, were making progress with the 17 SDGs, and we had good reason to believe we will achieve the 2030 target. Today, the picture we have on our performance is not very bright. Most of the 21 targets designated for achievement by 2020 have not been met, and we are not on track to achieve many other targets by 2030. According to the 2023 SDG report, just 12% of the SDG targets are on track
to resolve conflicts. This includes adequately resourcing the African Standby Force and leveraging partnerships to address emergency threats such as terrorism, cybercrime, and climate-induced displacements. Indeed, this is very important for us, especially in West Africa, considering the challenge we face from terrorism. Africa's future lies in its youth. Over 60% of our population is under the age of 25, and yet